And so we go to the craft store, and they're getting all these ribbons to attach to the tambourine. And as they're getting ribbons, they're giving them names. And my mom's grabbing different shades of red, and she's like, "This will be New Wine Covenant." And my sister's grabbing like blues and greens and saying, "This will be called Creation." And I'm just standing there like an autistic child patting the bolts of fabric. I'm like, "This will be done soon." And we go home, and they attach our ribbons to the tambourines, and my sister puts in the tape, and Mrs. Manson pops up, and we start like mimicking her every swoop and jangle and jingle, and my sister's screaming, "Bigger, Les, you gotta be bigger, or no one will see you." And my mom's on the couch, she's like, "Bigger, Les, bigger." And my mom doesn't want to cheer, or my sister doesn't want a cheering section, so she says, "Mom, you have to leave, we're working." And my mom gets up, and before she leaves, she goes, "I just want to tell you girls, I am so proud of you for doing this, and I'm so happy you're spending time together." And she leaves the room, and we do and all of these moves have names. They all have names like Heavenly Waters, and New Wine, and Abraham's Son. And like, I never thought of a tambourine as like a pussy instrument per se, but like in the hierarchy of like, if electric guitars and drums are here, like the badasses of the family, like a tambourine is like the downsy cousin that like no one really wants to play with. But I will tell you, a tambourine will mess you up. Because we would do these for hours and hours a day, these tambourine routines, and we had bruises all the way down our legs from like revival, and then like, and the little ones like God's chatter. We had like bruised palms, and like, what do you do with a bruised palm? Like nothing except hit a tambourine some more. So every day for hours, we're doing these tambourine routines, and it gets to Sunday. And I am just dreading this social suicide that is going to occur at church, which is us doing choreographed tambourine routines. And we get in the car, and my one hope was that my sister wouldn't find my tambourine that I hid behind the couch. And I swear to God, sure enough, she comes running, "Les, you forgot your tambourine!" And I feign a thank you, and we get in the car, and we go to church, and our church is the jogging room of the local YMCA behind an abandoned rock quarry, because we're classy like that. So every morning we convert this jogging room into a church, and we have our folding chairs, and she brings me to the very front, and we're sitting there, and like, I never had a heart attack, and I don't know if kids can have heart attacks, but I was like sure I was having a heart attack. And I'm looking, and it's a charismatic church, so like, it's okay like to clap and raise your hands, but like, no one has seen the likes of this tambourine bomb that we were about to drop. So my sister looks at me and she says, "Are you ready to dance?" And I say, "Yes." And she goes, "All right, well, we have to go to the front." I said, "Well, we are in the front, we're in the very front row." She goes, "No, we have to go to the very front, everyone has to see us." And she pulls us all the way up to the very front of the jogging room, and we're standing there, and our pastor raises his guitar pick, and I, like, in a split second I pray to God, I say, "God, please let it be a slow song, like, please let this be the slowest song ever." And he puts his guitar pick down, and it's perfect tambourine rhythm, and my sister is off like a shot, and she calls, "Holy waters, go!" And we jangle and jangle and jangle, Abraham's Son, and redemption, and fire, and we're twirling, and then like, I know there's like a huge spin coming up in this next one, I'm like, I can't look at a congregation, I can't look at all these people, and so I do the worst thing, which is I shut my eyes, because now I'm not like only a chunky kid who looks like bad rhythm gymnastics, like it looks like I'm really into this, and so we're going and twirling and spinning, and I peek open one eye during this, and my mom played the piano every Sunday, and she is just beaming at seeing her two daughters like little dervishes with ribbons, and she's sitting there playing and so excited. And so I swear to God, they played nothing but fast songs that day. Like nothing. There were no slow songs, no hymns, nothing. I think they just wanted to see like, how long will these kids twirl? Like, how long will they play a fucking tambourine? So we end praise and worship, and we sit down, and we're bruised and sweaty and gross, and that's when I hear all the snickering and the laughing, and we turn around, and all the other kids in the church are just hysterical over our choreographed tambourine routines. And I was like, this was the social outcast I was dreading is gonna happen. And my sister does the most amazing thing. She turns around and she just says, "Shut up! It's cool!" And the whole church shuts up, and I was like, she has the voice of God. Like, this is of God. We were supposed to play the tambourine, and she stood up for me. And I was like, this is worth it. It's worth it to be a tambourine duo with my sister. And not only that, we get rewarded with McDonald's afterwards, which, like, for a fat kid is, like, awesome. So the next day, I'm so excited. I'm like, I am all about the tambourine team. And so I go and I find my sister the next day, and I have my tambourine because it's rehearsal time. And I say, Erica, okay, let's go rehearse. And she says, oh, yeah, I'm over that now. I'm not doing it anymore. Get out of my face. Oh, what? Like, there it is. I got shocked again. And I was so mad. I was like, so I'm trying to give it to her. I said, well, we just practiced our rehearsals and we haven't even hit the nursing homes yet. And what about all the old people? And she's like, I'm just not in it anymore. And I was like, what about mom and the $50 and the tambourines and we have ribbons and they have names? And she just won't do it. And so I am so pissed at this point that I'm back in the same position of looking in through a window, through a shed of a clubhouse I helped make, and I'm sitting with the toys and no one to play with, and I'm here again. And so I determine I'm not going to take this one lying down. I'm going to wear her down. So every day I ask her to play a tambourine with me, and I rehearse by myself, and I watch Mrs. Manson, and I stand by myself in the living room, and my mom says, I'm so proud of you, sweetie. So Sunday comes, and I get my tambourine, and this time I bring my sister's tambourine, and I get in the car, and we go to church, and we get in the front row, and it's all deja vu except reversed, and pastor goes up, and he has his guitar, and my mom's at the piano, and I look at my sister with one last-ditch effort, and I say, will you please play the tambourine with me? And she just looks at me, crosses her arms, and looks straight ahead, and deciding if I want to commit social suicide by myself. So I grab my tambourine and I walk to the very front of the church, aka / the jogging room of the YMCA, and I look at my mom, and she is so proud that I'm standing as a fat kid with a tambourine in front of the church, and I figure that's good enough for me, and more importantly, I am going to get McDonald's after this, and for a fat kid, that's all you need. Thanks, guys.
Leslie Goshko, everyone. God's own fly girl.